and seeing Black CPAs, or did you?
Yeah, so I absolutely saw them working each summer. I would say I didn't see that before my internships. So when I saw the statistics about, Black CPAs, I guess I felt that in the beginning because I didn't know any. But eventually, once I started interning at the Big Four, I met many of them. And so I was like, I think that really encouraged me. A lot of them were, they range from senior associates, some associates to even the partner level. And so I think to see their careers definitely help. Even the person, who does my taxes is a Black CPA. And so for me to see even his journey is super, super encouraging, to know that they're out there. But even, the Black CPA I know who, did my taxes, he shared so much about his journey, and it wasn't just one straight path. And so I think that really encouraged me too, of there's so much you can actually do with this license, and you don't have to put yourself in a box to do so. So I think he worked in education, he worked for the government, he just did so many things, and now he's doing his own thing with taxes. But yeah, definitely seen it. Still very few, but the examples that I did see were absolutely amazing, and I definitely look up to them.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get him on the channel too.
We'll see.
Right. Was that your first encounter with the Black CPA? The accountant?
Oh, no. So I actually just met him last year. My first encounter would probably be, I would say probably through the internship process. And I think maybe then it didn't click that this is a Black CPA. I ended up interviewing with one of the Black partners at the firm. But my first interaction, I think, with a room full of them was probably through NABA, which was also kind of linked through my internship. And so to see them, I was like, oh, okay, this is awesome. Like, there's so many of you all in positions that I, aspire to be in. And so I think that was really encouraging too. And from there, I just kind of ran with NABA and the model of lifting as we climb. And so I got that started on our campus my sophomore year after seeing so many Black CPAs and hearing their stories and hearing that, there's so many opportunities out there, but not enough of our students of color are taking them or even knowledgeable about them. So, yeah.
Okay. So they had a strong presence on your campus, the National Association of Black Accountants, NABA.
Oh, so they had their own presence on our campus, actually. I ended up meeting them through the Detroit professional chapter. They ended up doing an event with the firm that I was interning with that summer. And so I got invited to, sit in on that event, luckily. And that's where I met so many of them. And through that, got some mentors. And I told them, hey, I really want to start a NABA chapter at CMU or, Central Michigan University. And so they really just kind of showed me how to go about that, the paperwork that I needed to submit, the members I needed to recruit and things like that. So, yeah.
So you were instrumental, or did you just on your own pretty much you spearheaded organizing a chapter? Is that what I'm hearing on your campus?
Yeah, I guess you could say spearheaded. Definitely reached out to the people that I knew who were already Black accounting majors at CMU. One was already my mentor, and another was a friend of mine who was actually doing the same internship as me. And so I brought the idea to them, and they said, absolutely, like we would love to, join you in this. And so the three of us definitely continued to get that started. And they were older, so they were getting ready to graduate. So I feel like maybe a lot of it did kind of fall on me, and that I might have had the most time available at that time to get things up and running. But they definitely helped with, recruiting and just making sure the word got spread too.
Okay, so that chapter is in existence now.
Yes, absolutely. NABA CMU, they're still up and running.
Because of you, trailblazer. She's already audience. She's already leaving a legacy, trailblazing already. Just started.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Man, because do you wish you had that? Like I said, those resources on campus.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why I started it, because I knew what was missing in my, journey. And luckily I was blessed to have a friend who went to CMU who ended up knowing a Black accounting student, and they got me in touch with them as my mentor. But without that connection, how would I have known how to navigate the ropes of getting through undergrad, of securing an internship, of networking within, our college of business? And so I felt very blessed that I did get mentorship early on before getting to campus, but it wasn't enough that I just had this connection. I wanted all of our students to be able to have that same experience as well. And so I think that's really how it got started. Although my journey wasn't, terrible by any means, I did have great guidance. I just wanted to make sure other students had that same kind of guidance when they got to campus.
Oh my goodness, a leader, born leader, herself wanting to help and then leaving a legacy. That is great. Leaving your mark.
Yes, leaving our mark, leaving our stamp on, campus. I think that's important. So even if they don't know me, as long as that organization is there to hopefully continue to grow and to develop our young professionals, I'm happy about that.
That's great. So being where you are now and having that experience, do you feel like having the CPA designation is relevant? Or could you have be successful in the accounting world without it?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I feel like because I'm early on in my career, I would say you can still be successful without it. I don't think you might reach the same success necessarily, though. I definitely heard that there's a good pay increase with having that CPA license, and so I would encourage any accounting major to get it, because that is like the highest mark as an accountant or as a CPA. But yeah, honestly, I would.
Yes. Well, let me just ask you point blank, since you interned at a Big Four and currently working there, is the expectation for all employees to be CPAs, or not everybody can be one or shouldn't be one at a Big Four? I don't know. Tell us.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So I say it's definitely the expectation that you get your CPA, which is why they invest in it. But there are also other routes you can go. So they also have like CISA, which is like something for like information systems. That's like a certification. Also, there are groups, especially on the tax side, that get their JDs. And so I think the expectation is that you further your education in some way, get some kind of designation. I don't think having a degree is enough anymore. And so, and I know just talking to other people who have, made manager or are making their way there, that there is a ceiling, like you need to get your CPA before you can become a manager. So, I definitely think in that way, it could stop your success if you want to stay like in the Big Four route, because the expectation is that unless you have, again, something like a JD or some of the other respected certifications, the CPA is the norm.
Okay, and now that you're there, and I'm sure you're surveying the land and thinking about your next challenge, do you think you will be pursuing your master's degree, or is that an unofficial expectation too? But
oh yeah, so I don't think that's an expectation at all. Remaining with the Big Four, I think honestly, I think it's too early for me to tell. I might get an MBA later down the line if I see the value in it for my career. But right now, I feel like the CPA is probably my biggest goal. And once I get that done, I think I just want a mental break from studying and just enjoy that accomplishment. But I'm definitely not opposed to a master's. I definitely want to pay for it, though. Like I'm not going into debt for it. So that would probably be the one deciding factor of if I got like a master's, specifically an MBA. I wouldn't do like a master's of accounting or anything.
okay, and I know you still have one more exam before it's official, but will you still automatic salary increase once you're fully licensed?
So I don't think an automatic salary increase, more so just that bonus that I talked about earlier. I think $5,000 or $6,000 is the normal bonus for us. So yeah, that would probably be the most immediate thing. And then after that, just your work ethic, hopefully getting you some more increases.
Okay, and that may open. What about a promotion? Will they automatically change your title? Or
I don't think so. Honestly, I still think the normal pace of promotion of, still getting fully immersed in like the associate role, and then, moving up to a senior in maybe 2-3 years, and then manager, things like that. So I don't think anything immediate, but I also feel like that's because CPA is the norm in Big Four. And so once you get it, it's like, ooh, that's great. But you still got to learn the ropes kind of thing. Maybe in industry, it might be a little more like a little more accelerated with that license. But yeah, I feel like you're still on the same track with your CPA in the Big Four.
Oh, okay. So it won't automatically put you on a certain career track or leapfrog other people, or you're in certain positions. You still got to put the work in and gain your experience.
Right. Yeah. Still got to get that experience.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, in accepting the job offer, did you think it was in line with industry standards, given you had already interned and had so much experience under your belt?
Ooh, I would say yes. Just like asking around, I guess, and doing my own research. I did talk to one person who had, gone Big Four years before me, maybe 10 years prior to me. And so when I told her the number, she was like, that's what I was making back when I started. So it sounds like it has not moved a lot, which is, unfortunate, but I also feel like I'm in a great position. And so I'm not too concerned about it right now. But I guess that is the norm for a lot of people because there's not much negotiating in it. I think that's just kind of the expected.
Okay, you just got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think you'll be working these horrendous hours that those of us on the outside who work in government or industry have heard about? Is that true? Or is it? No.
Ooh, you're gonna get me in trouble. I think so. Definitely some late hours. I think that I've been warned of that already, and I've experienced it, already as well because it is busy season, and starting at this time has definitely given me the wake up call that this is, the life of just being in the Big Four. So yeah, long hours are expected. Working weekends is expected as well. So yeah,
listen up. If somebody just said it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
A lot of people don't want to say it. Just kind of let that linger out there and see. You'll find out for yourself. But I've heard on the flip side, the experience you gain and the connections you make are invaluable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've gotten just such a great network already, even starting as an intern and seeing where my intern class or cohort has gone. And I love that not everybody stayed with Big Four. Some went industry, some, might be starting businesses. But to see that and even the mentors that I've gained through every internship, I'm still in great communication with them as well. And so I can reach out to them if I have questions at all levels too. I feel like everybody is accessible, which is a great feeling. I don't feel like, I'm just kind of out in the middle of the ocean trying to make it happen on my own.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. So it opens doors. So the sacrifice will pay off one way or the other. So
yeah, absolutely.
So don't run from it if you have that opportunity, though.
Yes, great opportunity.
So what are your eventual career aspirations since you're so early into this accounting field?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Again, even touching on it earlier, I think there's no box you have to be put in once you get that CPA license. And so I really can't say any exact route that I'll take. I think just yearly kind of assessing what it is that I desire out of my career will kind of lead me in that direction. I will say initially when I found out about accounting in high school, one of the stories that interested me was somebody who, the CPA for like the Red Wings or something like that, they ended up winning some championship and the CPA ended up getting a ring along with the team. Okay. And I thought that was just the coolest thing. And I was like, I want to be that CPA. So I definitely think sports is awesome because I'm a sports fan, but I think that would be a great opportunity, whether that's clients within the firm or, working for an actual team. I think that would be cool. I've heard more about government as well. I feel like I would need to talk to some more people about that to actually gauge what that life is like. But even education, I think there definitely needs to be more Black educators for accounting, and I've definitely been told that. I've heard about different programs that they have. So I really won't put myself in a box. I might need a break from education for a while after just completing undergrad and the CPA, but I'm not opposed to any of it because I do know, even some friends right now who are teaching at colleges and teaching those entry-level accounting classes. And so I just think it's super awesome to see all that people have been able to do with the knowledge that they've acquired, with accounting, with their CPA. So yeah, I won't really put myself in a box on that one. We'll see. Even nonprofit work, I would love that as well. I think I actually enjoyed the nonprofit section of FAR, so we'll see. I definitely have a heart to serve and to be a part of organizations that have missions that align with my own. So again, I'm not opposed to any opportunities in the future.
Well, yes, early on, and we can see the sky's the limit for you. So you might end up touching on all of those before it's all over.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll see.
So you mentioned having a mentor or mentors.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one now within the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. One, they definitely have some formal mentorship in place, like they assign you a career coach, they assign you, maybe a senior who's above you, who you can ask questions to. So definitely formal mentorship like that. But I would say, because again, interning, over 3 internships or 3 years, I've definitely developed some great relationships with people. And so I know outside just my team who I can reach out to and get, some honest feedback and just, honest truth from at all levels. And so I think that's absolutely amazing as well. So definitely have great mentors all throughout the organization.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Good to know. Well, since you are within a huge, global international firm and company, is it true that Black people are underrepresented in accounting and being CPAs as well? Since we know the statistics is Black people represent less than 1% of all CPAs around the world, which is like 650,000, but yet we represent around 5,000. Is that pretty much true, reflected in your organization?
Yeah, I would say that's absolutely true. That statistic still shocks me, unfortunately. Like, I remember doing a paper on that in undergrad, and it was maybe like 3%. So the fact that it's 1%, I'll say it's the truth, just because a lot of people don't get that CPA, even though they might go Big Four. Some don't get, or some maybe don't have the time to study, or again, the process is not easy. So I don't blame anybody for not getting a CPA. It definitely requires sacrifice and a time commitment and an energy commitment. But it's definitely true that we're underrepresented, and so I think just the firms in general, any Big Four, I feel like even smaller firms are kind of catching on that we need some diversity initiatives to bring more people into the firm earlier. And so that was what my first internship was, that it focused on Black and Latinx, undergrad students who were studying, accounting and, related majors. So I think that in that case, it did a great job of bringing us in early to hopefully show us early on, this is what you can aspire to be. This is what, this major or industry or whatever can get you. But yeah, definitely see it on the teams and things like that. But I think a lot of people have their efforts to make sure you still feel included and supported as well throughout the firm.
Oh, that's good. And you mentioned the cohort that you came in with. Was it, you were saying it was pretty diverse. Have they gone on to pass at least 3 of the exams like yourself, or be CPAs at this point, or are they on track to be CPAs?
I would say most of them are definitely on track to being CPAs. Again, who I keep in touch with, some have passed all 4, some have passed a couple. Some have decided accounting wasn't for them. So I feel like you see it all. But I'd say those who have stuck with it definitely at least plan to sit for their CPA exams. Like, because we're in that age of like, you're just kind of finishing undergrad, so some are doing their master's programs right now, which might push back their CPA journey a little bit. But yeah, I think most of them are on track to do so.
Gotcha. So since you are pretty new or early on in your career, what can be done to increase the number of Black people who take on accounting as their career path and to eventually be a CPA? What can you do early on?
To increase that
What are we
number.
doing on campus, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'd say definitely it can start with campus. Again, that's why I definitely felt it was necessary to found a NABA chapter on our campus. So I think that's a start to show that it's out there, to also be able to bring professionals and companies to campus, to share their stories, to share about the opportunities that they have. That's super important. But even earlier, like high school, because I feel like accounting can have a bad stigma to it. Oh, I'm just crunching numbers. I'm sitting at a cubicle, hunched over, my computer or something like that. But then I see accountants in real life, just stepping out, and they are, dressed head to toe, and they are carrying themselves with confidence. And you just see, oh, okay, like accounting does not equate to I don't know, like nerdy, I guess. Like I'm a proud,
sitting in
yeah, exactly. Nah, I'm a proud nerd. Okay, like I like those numbers to add up and make sense. But I guess you don't. I guess we need to dispel this myth of what it actually looks like. Because a lot of people, like, they'll talk to me or see me, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know." Maybe you got the grades that you did, or that you were studying this. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm about my business, but I don't have to, I guess, like feed
broadcast
into
and
any.
publicize what you're doing, because you are doing big
Exactly.
things. You are
Yeah.
doing big things under wraps. Let it speak for
Exactly.
itself.
I think everybody needs to be your business as it's happening.
Typical accountant, Black accountant anyway, I will say. Well, that before we end this interview and close out with all the great things you've accomplished, can you speak on co-authoring the book about graduating school and college debt-free, no student loans?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is a new project, or fairly new. Me and another co-author who's turned into a great friend. Our journeys actually kind of started around the same time with our first internship. They were in the Chicago office, and I was in our Detroit office, and we ended up having a mutual friend that kind of got us together and said, "Hey, I think you all are pretty. I think you all would hit it off, basically." And so this young lady was at a HBCU. She was at Howard University studying accounting. And again, I was at my PWI studying accounting. But our paths were also very similar. We both were getting kind of the same scholarships, and we were in the same networks. And so we said, hey, I think it's important for us to share these tips with others, that you can graduate debt free, whether you go to an HBCU or a PWI, whether you're from the inner cities like us. Again, she's from the west side of Chicago. I'm from the east side of Detroit. And we were both first generation college students. And so we just felt like it was an important message to get across, that that doesn't have to be so normalized, that, and my journey was different in that I actually did take out loans from my freshman year to sophomore year, and then I was able to pay them back before I graduated. And so just sharing the tips of, thank you.
And I'll add that in during the edit too. But let me just say, that's huge. You were able to repay loans while you were in college, so it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
Touch on how to do that.
Yes, the book will tell you how to do it. We also have a scholarship webinar that we did back in September that is available for purchase as well. So all information is on our website, but the book will be out this spring, and we're just excited to get that into the hands of so many young people, because I don't think that burden needs to be on the parents. I think it definitely is about students taking ownership of their education and their career, and how that is going to turn out for them. So yeah, like if you want to be debt free, these are the steps to do it, and we're really excited to get that out there.
Well, please share the website and the title of the book.
Yes, so the website is www.graduatetofreedom.com, and the website is, or that was the website, the name of the book completely is Graduate to Freedom, the how-to guide of graduating debt-free from an HBCU and a PWI. So we are very excited about that.
That is great. And remember, audience, she just graduated with her bachelor's degree. So she did all of this in undergrad and getting ready to start a new job, new career, and able to author and publish a book. What else?
What else is it? And I will touch on just, so I started a business back in July called Jesus and Justice Apparel. And so that is also a cause near and dear to me. I think there was so much that has continuously gone on over the years, but I felt like I was finally in a position to contribute in a way, beyond just, my prayers, beyond protesting, but actually starting something that could continuously and monthly give back to other organizations. And so Jesus and Justice Apparel, again, it was started at that root of faith and social justice, and where do they see, or where do they intersect? And I found out very quickly that they are intrinsically inseparable. Like, there is no one without the other. Like, we need to talk about both. And so each percentage of our proceeds goes to different social justice organizations who are out there fighting for justice on the front lines, that are doing the work day to day. And so I'm very excited for that to continue to just reach as many people as possible as well. So that website is www.jesusandjusticeapparel.com. So all those, I think that's everything. All the balls I'm juggling right now.
Also, that is great. Well, I can't end without asking you about that, since you're community oriented and talking about social justice. What is the conversation around diversity and inclusion at the workplace? What are your thoughts? How's that going or changing? What are you seeing?
I think we're having very open conversations, and I'll say that our U.S. chairman has done a great job of having those conversations even before I started. So again, I just started in January, but I'll say even the summer before I started, the managing partner at our firm in Detroit reached out to me, and he's been a great mentor to me, but he reached out and just checked in and said, hey, how are you doing? I know there's a lot going on. Yes, there's a pandemic, but there's also all these things happening to Black people. How are you? And he's not a Black person, but he's just the coolest guy ever. And I really appreciated somebody at the firm who I hadn't even started with yet, taking that initiative to reach out. And then when I did start in January, I feel like one of the first conversations that I had with somebody was just kind of about this. And it wasn't really so much on me to share anything, but I actually took the time to listen to them, which was, again, another non-Black employee. And, she got teared up on the call. And I was like, wow. And this is somebody, again, who's higher up, who just took the time to be vulnerable and say, this isn't right. This shouldn't be happening. And checking in to see how I was doing as well. So I definitely think these are conversations that are ongoing. Even during Black History Month, the firm has done, a great job to have these open conversations and hosting events and things like that. So it's definitely not swept under the rug. And I think that's important. I definitely want to be at organizations whose values actually align with mine, and that they're, doing in the day-to-day work. And so the fact that one of our core values is that we care, I think that's been seen a lot over this entire process, especially with the social injustices that we've been seeing. So kudos to them on that. I definitely think they've done a great job.
Oh, that's good. It seems like another opportunity where you can get involved and might line up with other things that you have going on. That's good.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Good. Well, I will close with this question, which I ask every guest. So what will having CPA behind your name mean to you?
That's a great question. Again, I'm still a little ways out because I got to get that 1 year experience. But I would say that it's possible. Like, it would mean that it's possible and it wasn't this unattainable thing. And that I actually, again, what I set my mind to do, I did, and hopefully encourage somebody else to do the same. So throughout the entire journey, I've shared it with, even my mentees of, hey, I passed this, oh, I didn't pass this one. And so just to share, openly and honestly, like, this journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. And I think also it just means that a lot of doors are open to me career-wise. And that sky's really the limit. Like, I don't have to put a cap on, how far I can go in this accounting field. So yeah, I think that's what it means to me. Yeah.
Well, we know it's right around the corner. So my featured guest today, who's on her way to being distinguished very soon, is Ms. Angel Stallings. She talked about graduating undergrad and obtaining her bachelor's degree, student loan free, debt free, and she's co-authored a book and starting her career. I thank you so much for taking time out to share your exam story and your accounting career thus far. We look forward to seeing where your career takes you. I wish you all the best in life, in the world, and in the Big Four, being a partner or having your own firm, doing your own thing. Because as you just stated, the sky's the limit. There's no cap in being a Black certified public accountant. So
Yes.
thank you, Ms. Angel, for being here. And I know you will have CPA behind your name very soon. And for the YouTube audience, thanks for tuning in, stopping by. So subscribe if you haven't already. And remember who you are and whose you are. And there's no time like the present. And I'll see you next time.